We've got a new mini RGB light on the market, and in this video, we're going to take a closer look at SmallRig's new RGB WW light, the RM75. SmallRig did send me these lights to review, but they're not seeing this video ahead of time. No money changed hands. These are all my own opinions. It's definitely a bit smaller than SmallRig's previous effort, the M160. The first and most obvious difference, of course, being big difference in size. And with that size difference, of course, you're going to have less output on this new guy. The RM75 is rated for 5 watts. The M160, I believe, is 12 watts. Yeah, 12 watts. However, you are still getting, I believe it's about 500 lux at a half meter, putting it on par with the Aputure's MC. So even with its small size, it's actually got a bit of a chungus of a battery in it, rated at 4,000 milliamp. So at 100%, you're going to get close to about 3 hours of life on it. It's not bad. The back of the light has this carbon fiber-like look to it. I don't think that's actually carbon fiber. And we're plastic on the back and on the front, and metal on the sides. So you've got your controls here. You've got a USB-C port here, and that is power delivery. So you should be able to fully charge this battery from 0 to 100 in a little less than 2 hours. You have your on-off switch in the middle, and then all control of the light is done with this single dial / button. And I'll show you that control scheme here in a minute. You have a single 1/4-20 mount at the base and just one. So if you're like mounting this on a mini tripod, you're kind of stuck in this portrait orientation. You've got a fairly bright OLED screen here at the back. One of the more interesting and definitely unique features in this light, instead of putting a magnet at the back of the light like most manufacturers do, SmallRig instead put them all along the sides. Let's actually use this light now. I'll show you how we control it here with that single knob. All right, let me walk you through controlling this light with just this one little knob here. So we'll go ahead and turn the light on. And by default, we're coming up here into CCT mode. So you basically have two sides here. One on the left here is sort of your main menu section. And you simply scroll the wheel to move through the different functions. So let's get back to CCT mode. To change things like the brightness and the color temperature, you simply press in on the wheel. And now you're in that submenu here. So we can scroll the wheel to change the brightness. Then it's just a single press to move down to your color temperature mode. By the way, the color temperature range in this little light here is 8,500 degrees Kelvin down to 2,500 degrees Kelvin. Now, because this is an RGB WW light, you also get a green magenta shift control here, +10 to -10. Really useful feature if you're mixing this light in with lights from other manufacturers. To go back to the main function menu, you long press the scroll wheel, and now you're back over there. Scroll down, now we have your HSI mode. Single press, can change the hue. Single press, the saturation, the brightness. Long press to go back to the main menu. Scroll down, here's your RGB mode. And again, since this is RGB WW, you get a little bit more control of your light, including the red, green, blue, and the white color. Scroll down to FX, and as you might expect, this light has a ton of different special effects. I'm not going to go in depth in these. We've all seen these before, other than to say which ones are actually in here. So we have RGB, paparazzi, party, lightning, faulty bulb, TV, candle, random, fireworks, police car, fire truck, ambulance, welding, SOS, pulsing, back to RGB. Now, I will say On the candle, it is using the RGB, and if you up the frequency to about a 10, its max frequency, it's actually one of the better representations of candle lights I've seen in a little RGB light. So we'll long press and go back to the main menu area. You have your Bluetooth reset. This is what you might have to do to get the mobile app to recognize the light. You can see the version number of your light, and yes, there are firmware updates for this. When I first got the light, I believe it was at just plain old version 1.0, and I believe what do we are on now? Version 1.02. And upgrading the firmware is done through the mobile app. Back to CCT. So it can take a little getting used to trying to navigate everything with just that one single knob there, but I didn't really have any problems with it. The mobile app is called SmallRig's. And unfortunately, you do have to create an account to use the app, something I am not a fan of. When you first open the app, you need to add your lights. So simply click Add. Now, if no light shows up, you're going to need to do the Bluetooth reset. Scroll down to BT, press the wheel again on yes. And now your light should show up. Click the checkbox and then click Add Light. If you have multiple lights, you can select the checkbox for each one of those lights you want to control. SmallRig's says you can control up to 50 of these lights from the app. For now, we'll just select our single light by clicking on the name. So all your functions are listed here. You have CCT, HSI, RGBW. You have all of your special effects here. Color card are your gels. You have a number of different ones from Lee and, well, that should be Roscoe, not Resco. Color picker lets you set the light to a color pick from an image on your mobile device, or you can open up the camera app and take a picture of the color you want the light to change to. Now, the last function is something that's new called Light Effect Pickup. Now, the documentation on this is pretty slim. I played around with it a little bit, and this is what I think it's doing. You record a video here within the app, and it analyzes the color pattern that's coming up during the video. Then it will try to replicate that with the light. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to bring in a second light here, and I'm going to put it on police car. So I'll move in close here, click record, and we'll stop. Just call this lights for now. Now I've noticed for this effect to work, and there is every possibility I'm doing this completely wrong, but this is what's been working for me. I've had to click over on the color palette and kind of max out the saturation. And now if I hit play, you'll see it's trying to replicate that pattern with the light. And it will only go as long as the video is that you recorded. This has been very hit or miss for me. The accuracy of the light patterns it tries to replicate has been kind of iffy, sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. I've also noticed if you go into the history and you try to delete one of those patterns that you've recorded, the app actually reboots itself. So obviously SmallRig has some tidying up to do with this app. And again, I could be wrong how this light effect pickup function works, but this is what I've seen in my playing around with it. And that pretty much covers the app. I think these are interesting little lights. And I'm always encouraged when I see companies trying to do something new and different. If you're interested in picking one of these up, I'll have a link down in the description. If you got any questions, let me know in the comments. They're definitely solid little lights. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Have a good one.